Hi, I'm Caroline.
And I'm Megan.
And this is the Songwriter Diaries,
a podcast by songwriters for songwriters.
Hello.
Hello.
We are so excited to have the Claire Nichols on the podcast today. Claire, can you just start by telling us about yourself and how you got into music?
Hi, my name is Claire Nichols. I am a artist and songwriter. There's a man washing his bike outside my window right now. I don't know if you can hear that. But I'm sorry about that. No, I'm an artist and songwriter. I live in LA, but I originally am from Denver, Colorado. I've been writing songs, honestly, like as long as I can remember. I think like the first song I have like written down is from when I was in second or third grade, somewhere in there. But I really kind of started taking it seriously around 13 or 14. And yeah, at this point, it's what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I'm just trying to figure out how to make that financially possible, just like the rest of us. So
Preach.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God,
Yep,
love.
so valid.
And for all of you out there listening, Caroline was Claire's Lynx leader at CU Denver's Lynx camp for music. And yeah, so that's how we know Claire.
Claire was a star pupil.
Star pupil. So, what does your songwriting process look like?
What does my songwriting process look like? Honestly, I think as a person, I'm just kind of always writing a song. Like in the back of my head, in the middle of our conversations. See like that, even that like little snippet of word right there, like I just had that thought, like that's a lyric, you know. So I feel like I'm always kind of like in my notes, and then, you know, sometimes if you get a little stoned, mom, don't listen to that. You know, I think I write a lot when I'm stoned. I think I can't not write a song when I'm stoned, so that just kind of like flows out of me. It's so hard to answer that question, like what is your songwriting process, because songs just really flow out of me just naturally. But if I were like writing in like a studio session, which a lot of my songs do come out of session writing, we just kind of sit and we chat and we're like, oh, like what are you going through right now, and you know, trauma dump on each other, and you know, kind of see if there's any commonalities there and try to pick a theme. And then like if a producer has like a loop or like a beat that they've kind of been sitting on wandering around with, we'll kind of like top line or something like that, or you know, sometimes it comes from a line or all the other little things. I don't know.
Yes.
I like that.
When you're in a session, do you kind of like have something that you think you bring to the table more so than like other things? I don't know if that made sense, but like, do you find yourself focusing on lyric or melody? Or
I think like my biggest thing is lyrics. I really market myself as a lyric writer. Also concepts. I usually come in with like a couple strong concept ideas. And you know, when I'm working with other artists, I really mostly support on lyrics. Because I've found that like my melodies end up having a pretty distinct sound to them. And I think like everybody's do. So it's like if I'm writing for another artist, I try not to put any of my melodies in, at least before they've gotten all of their ideas out. And then if I find that they might need some support on a melody, like I can offer that. Like I definitely do write melodies and stuff, but I'm such a lyric focused, lyric driven writer anyway. So that's mostly what
yes.
Nice. What would you say is like the most important element of a song then?
I'm like so tempted to say lyrics just because I'm a lyric girl. But I think honestly, the most important element of a song for me is like genuineness or like truth. Honestly, like it has to kind of come from something real, like reality. And like I feel like every really good song you can tell that it's rooted, even if it might have some like fictional elements, it's rooted in a real feeling and rooted in a real experience. Um, and yeah, the feeling behind the song is really the most important part for me, because I think it really comes across no matter what those lyrics and melodies are, if there's like something real in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I don't know.
agree.
Is that
I
a dumb
love that.
answer? I feel like that's a dumb answer.
No, I think that's so
No,
true.
I
Like,
loved it.
I feel like when I'm listening to music, like I can always like the things that I like are the ones that feel the most authentic to the artist
Mhm.
rather than like the one that's like the biggest hit. And sometimes those are
Yeah.
the same, which is cool, but a lot of times they're not.
I feel like there are some songs where I can almost like I can hear the session in the song. Like I'm like, I know exactly what you guys were doing, and it's so formulaic, just kind of
Yeah.
how it ends up
Yeah,
sounding. And I'm
yeah,
like, I don't know if there was a real thing here, if they were just like, let's write a heartbreak song,
yeah.
and it just is a
Yeah.
heartbreak song. So
Yeah, so when you're in those sessions, is there anything you do to kind of prepare yourself to be vulnerable and be open with people? Like, are you going in with strangers? Because that's where I would struggle. I'm like, I couldn't go in with a stranger and be like, here's everything that I am going through at this moment. So do
I
you,
think I usually am going in with strangers for sure.
yeah.
But it's like I don't know, I feel like I've kind of mastered the art of like canned vulnerability. So I'm like, I have my 3 topics that I've like rehearsed my little monologue about, where I'm like, here's like, if the vibe of the room is let's write a personal song, I'm like, here's my little monologue about the fact that I think I'm a piece of shit, and it sounds really vulnerable in the moment, but it's like I've said it 2,000
Yeah.
times, and
Yeah.
I already have 40 really vulnerable song lyrics about it that I wrote when I was like really in that kind of like emotional state. And now that we're like in the session, I'm kind of like, let's just piece it together and like find the red line here, rather than
Yeah.
like I'm gonna like bawl my eyes out in this session and like realize 10 new things about myself as a person. It's like I've kind of already done that like personal work and like therapized myself in the mirror, so that I can kind of just like regurgitate it at a producer as if it's like a fresh new thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not like emotionally processing in the room. I think that's a
I
good
don't
thing
think
to
think
that's
know.
so.
smart.
And I think
Yeah.
like there definitely are people who do. And I've
Yeah.
been in the room with artists who like are emotionally processing as we write.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this is like incredible to witness.
Yeah.
But I think like for me personally, I just like that's pretty rarely how it happens. But I would love to find like a producer that I like really feel so grounded and
Yeah.
comfortable with, that I like am ready to like
Yeah.
open up my little page in the
Yeah,
room.
because like
I
it would
think
be
that's
hard.
the key.
Yeah, like going in every like it being your day job and like going in and kind of like bearing your soul to strangers like every day would be difficult.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of have a strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
like
yeah.
here's like my very presentable version of my soul.
Yeah.
That like sits in front of
Yes.
the very vulnerable, soft version of my
Yeah.
soul.
Mm.
Like you wouldn't have the capability to create such incredible work if you weren't a person who like feels really deeply.
Exactly.
But one of the side effects of being a person who feels really deeply is, those lows can get like pretty ugly, and those highs are like really fun and really lush and delicious, and inspire you to create and all those things.
Yes.
Yes.
Would you say that you see yourself more as an artist or as a songwriter?
That's like such a relevant question right now, because I think I've really always been like, I'm a writer, I'm a writer, I'm a writer, I'm a writer, I'm a writer. But honestly, when I moved to LA, I was just able to connect with more people, and I was getting more interest from people like working with me when I was presenting myself as a writer, or not as a writer, sorry, as an artist. So I've really, the last like 6 months, I've been working pretty like maybe 60% artist, 40% writer versus like, you know, December, like, or like every point up until then, I was working probably 80 to 90% of my sessions were as a writer with other artists. So like, I don't know, I think to my core, I still like identify as a songwriter, and I would still like to make my living as a songwriter, but I think for the first time, I'm like really kind of accepting that I am and taking up space as an artist and kind of in that way. And like pushing myself and marketing myself as an artist. And, you know, my Instagram is very like, I'm an artist, you know, and all of those things. So
That's cool.
but to answer your question, I'm a songwriter.
Yeah, so speaking of Instagram, I was curious if you had any recommendations for indie artists who are trying to manage their own social media platforms, because I know that's like such a hot topic right now with everything.
Schedule your posts on Sunday and delete your frickin' Instagram. Answer your DMs from your computer. If you sync your Instagram with your Facebook, you can post stories from the Facebook Messenger app, so you can still engage that way. But delete your Instagram. This has been such an issue for me because Instagram is ruining my life. I'm always scrolling my stupid little explore page and I don't even like it. I don't even have fun. I just can't be alone with my brain. So I just like do that. And it's like, it's such a frustrating thing. And the second it is financially viable for me, I will hire a social media manager. But, you know, right now, the way I make it work for myself is, I'm not perfect. I don't manage this every week. But when I'm at my best, I'm scheduling my posts on a Sunday. I'm doing like 2 posts and like a reel, or like 2 reels in 1 post. And then I'm deleting my Instagram for the week.
Wow.
That's such a good idea.
I love that. So you schedule them in the app?
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask.
If you scroll down, it's on advanced settings, and you can hide your like and view counts, and then you hit schedule post. And I do them all right at noon, or like sometimes I put it at like 12:02 so that anyone who's looking isn't like, is Claire scheduling her posts? Not that would matter. Who cares? But yeah, I mean, that's the happiest version of it for me. That's like the best way for me to keep my brain intact, because that girl is sensitive.
Yeah. That is such solid advice, though. That is like super cool that you do that.
And you post on TikTok all the time.
Do you schedule those, or is that more
TikTok actually just introduced scheduling posts. I haven't kind of gotten onto that train yet. I like haven't even like looked into it. I'm a little nervous. I wonder if scheduling your posts is gonna mess with the algorithm. I don't really know. I don't know if I care. So I think, you know, if I can really pull up my big girl pants, I will be scheduling my TikToks. But I think TikTok doesn't, TikTok also, my sister has parental controls on my TikTok account. So it literally shuts off after an hour, and she has the password. So I like literally can't get into my TikTok after an hour. So like I have this like deep-seated anxiety. Like every time I open the app, I'm like, I only have 60 minutes. So I like have to post. And then I like get off. So like,
that is
managing myself and my social media,
brilliant.
Big topic for like recently, because it kills me. It's awful. I hate social media. It like, I want to throw my phone out the window. It's ruining my brain and it's ruining my life.
God, I relate to that so much. I want a flip phone.
Yeah. And I think like TikTok, I don't know, I haven't like had as much of a problem with TikTok as I do with Instagram, because I feel like every time I open TikTok, I like get that crippling guilt about the fact that I haven't posted on TikTok today, that like if I even try to scroll, I just kind of hate myself. So I like mostly I'll go, like if I don't post for a week, it's because I haven't opened TikTok for a week. So that's like hasn't been a huge problem in my life. But when it did become a problem in my life, I was like, parental controls.
That's
That
so
is,
smart.
yeah, that is so smart. I think
That's
too, it's good
brilliant.
that you have like I don't know, the willpower to like set those parameters because I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a
Mhm.
great idea. I should do that. And then I know I'm going to be
Will I
like,
do it?
no, it's fine. I don't need to do
Try
that.
it. No, do it. Like literally try it, and then like if like try it for a week, and if you hate it, you can take it off. But I feel like every time that little enter screen management password pops up, you're gonna be like, yeah, true.
I feel like so many artists and even influencers and stuff feel the pressure to have their social media on all the time and be on their phones
Yeah.
all the time because they want to be present for their fans or they just get consumed by everything
Mm-hmm.
else going on the app.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could choose 3 artists, dead or alive, to share a bill with, so you and 3 other artists, who would you choose?
I feel like I have to say Taylor Swift just because she
Mm.
is Taylor Swift.
So true.
And also like the amount of exposure I would get from sharing a bill with Taylor Swift,
So true.
like
Honestly.
unreal. And also, you know, I wouldn't be who I am as an artist and songwriter without the influence of Miss Swift. But I would also like totally throw. I feel like it would be so fun to be like with like Frank Sinatra. I feel like that would be
Random.
no, like Frank Sinatra or like Billie Holiday or something. You
Ooh,
know,
yeah.
Yeah.
like that would be the coolest bill to be on. And then let's go with like a current, like I'm obsessed with Boy Genius, the new Boy Genius record.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So like
It's so
from like a
fucking good.
real level, I would love to be on a bill with Boy Genius.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that's doable. Boy Genius and Taylor Swift.
Boy
Otherwise,
Genius,
maybe
Taylor
not.
Swift, Sinatra.
Yeah.
That's me.
Okay, wait. So, what's your favorite T Swift album?
I'm a speak now girly at my core.
God, I knew I liked you.
Well, no one asked, but I'm a red girly myself.
Red is good.
Oh
Red
my
is
God.
respectable.
I love
That's
Red.
Red is
respectable.
I
respectable.
feel like
Red is
Red was
great.
the last album I listened to before I kind of like went into my like I hate women era. And then
Mm,
I like at one
yeah.
point got really stoned and listened to Taylor Swift, and I was like, I feel like I'm coming home.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we've been inseparable since. So
Yeah, I hate that it's such a trend to just like hate women artists. Like,
mm-hmm.
and the people who are just like, I'm just not as into women singers as I am into like male singers and male voices. I'm like, that's just you're being fucking sexist. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we're like kind of
just talk
coming
about
out of it now. I feel like there's like more
Yeah.
awareness
Mhm.
of it, but I feel like especially in that era of like the Kanye stuff that happened, like the
Oh.
2010 or what even year was that? 2014 maybe 2015.
No
Like
idea.
that kind of era was like so awful, and I like yeah, it really got to a point where I think it was like my junior or senior year of high school. I was like, I don't think I listen to any female artists anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was only listening to Phoebe Bridgers for a while, and you know what that does for your mental health.
Yeah.
Oh God.
The highs and
You
lows
know?
of that. It's a journey.
Miss Bridgers and I have to take breaks from each other, I think.
You take a break from her and then you go to Boy Genius.
I
Sad
feel like
girl
I like take
hours.
breaks from Phoebe Bridgers and I go to like Ash Nico.
Oh my God, I love Ash Nico.
I love Ash Nico.
So good. Meg, do you listen to Ash Nico?
No.
You, me too.
Like,
It's
But
like
I should.
just
break your
bangers.
feminine rage.
Okay,
Mm.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm down. Sign me up.
Mhm.
Have you guys seen the Barbie movie?
Yes. It's so good. I think I'm
This
seeing it tonight.
conversation inspired me. Or not inspired me, but makes me think of the Barbie movie. Caroline, you have to see it. It
I
is
know.
fucking phenomenal. It is so good.
Mhm.
Like
It's beautiful.
life-changing good. It's so
Yeah.
good.
I like
know I need to
wish I was 12 and seeing this movie.
Yeah, I
I
do
think
too.
that
It's kind
also
of
my
like
go-to, you know?
I like walked out of it thinking like it's almost a little too in your face how like it's like women are oppressed, but that's
Mm,
why I like it.
mm.
Because it's like
Mm.
finally something that is like portrays it so well.
And
So
it's just
it's
like it's also
just
funny.
it's
You know,
so
like it's just like
funny.
it's kind of comedic how oppressed women are. You're just like, wait, this is kind of a
This
joke.
is us.
Yeah.
Like,
And
what?
the
Really? Like you kind
music.
of like remember because it's like being in the anger of like women are oppressed all the time is so exhausting. So I feel like you
Yeah.
kind of just like, tuck it up your butt, and just like don't think
Yeah.
about it that much.
Mm.
And then like yeah, Barbie really puts it in your face, and you're like, true, true though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true. And it was just when you said like when I went through my phase of um hating like like music,
Hmm.
that just like oh my God, Caroline, you just have to see it. And everyone out
You
there
do.
go see it.
I
And
do.
Barbie movie sponsor us because it is so it's amazing. Greta, I'm obsessed with you.
I
I
was
love you.
just
Oh my
listening
gosh.
to the Greta Gerwig deep dive podcast with The Ringer about the Barbie movie,
Ooh.
and it's such
Mm-hmm.
a great plot. So
Ooh,
incredible.
okay. Good to know.
Go listen to it if you have not.
Gosh, we
Well,
love women here.
I
we
do love
love
women,
femmes.
you
Pro
know.
femme up in this
Yeah.
bitch.
Oh,
Pro femme.
Um well, it's that time, and we've come to the last question. And that is, why do you write songs?
mm. Why do I write songs? I think it's just my way of being, honestly. I don't know if I chose songwriting or if songwriting chose me. Um, I don't, yeah, I like don't know. Yeah, it's not an active thing. It's not like an active choice that I like write songs. I just like it is how I process, it is how I function, it is how I move through the world, it's how I experience the world, like I'm hearing everything as a lyric, I'm seeing everything as a lyric. Um, yeah, I don't think there's a version of me that doesn't write songs. I think I just we're one and the same.
I love that.
Claire, that was such a good answer, but were you making a braid beard that whole time?
I was. And then it like occurred to me right when I finished my little braid beard that you guys posted the video, and I was like, uh-oh. But like whatever.
But it was so profound. And then just you with your little braid beard.
We're one and the same.
Oh
Just
my
like me and
gosh.
my little beard.
Love it.
The pod
Um,
cover is me with a braid beard.
honestly, make it happen.
Bet.
Um, so your closing song is Kicking and Screaming. Can you tell us a little bit about the background of the song and how you went about recording it?
The background of this song, how I went about recording it. I was doing one of those really silly breakups where you're like, we're broken up, but we're still bros. And there's no hard
Mm-hmm.
feelings. And you immediately go from being broken up to being best friends. So it's like you don't actually break up. And I feel like I kind of like, I had this just like kind of like energy ruminating in my tummy that was like, I need to be angry and despise you. So I like went into the studio. I guess like the idea for the song, and like I was like walking home from school and I was like, I never knew I was violent. And I don't know
Mm.
why I was feeling violent at the time, but I
Yes.
was feeling rage. um, but yeah, I like went into the studio and I was like, let's just write a song about how I wish this breakup was going. Because I feel like I wanted the like running out of the house and the anger and the I hate you and the drama and the and the heartbreak and the blah that like kicking and
Mm-hmm.
screaming very much like embodies, but I never got that out of my breakup. I just kind of like got this like we're friends, and then it all blew up in my face a year later, which we don't have to get into, but those breakups always do. They always break up, they always blow up, and it's 10 times messier than it would have been if we had just like slammed the doors and screamed and cried and you know. So that was my slamming doors, screaming, crying, perfect thorns song, you know, if I had to background it.
Ooh, I'm excited. Well, everyone go scream and cry to the song. This is Kicking and Screaming by Claire Nichols.
Headlights on the walls of my apartment. You're running from the scene of a heartbreak. Tell me it's not over yet. And I'm falling to my knees like a movie. All my drama takes a little getting used to. Am I that easy to forget? Is it that easy? Oh, are you scared? This is good. This is rare. Don't close our book. It isn't fair. Do you even care? Do you even care? No. I never knew I was violent. Now I look like a child, kicking and screaming as you're leaving me behind. And when you're not even crying, God, it cuts like a knife, kicking and screaming as you're leaving. Do you even care? Do you even care? Do you even care? Diving off of the edge of a freight train, giving up on an unwritten ending. You ain't got one good excuse. And oh, you said that you're getting sick of the distance, as if love wasn't more than logistics. I don't think that's even true. So tell me why. Oh, are you scared? This is good. This is fair. Don't close our book. It isn't fair. Do you even care? Do you even care? No. I never knew I was violent. Now I look like a child, kicking and screaming as you're leaving me behind. And when you're not even crying, God, it cuts like a knife, kicking and screaming as you're leaving. Do you even care? Do you even care? Do you even care? I'm trying not to sound too bitter. I just wish that you'd admit it. You know you're making a mistake, just say it. You don't have to be another one that got away. I never knew I was violent. Now I look like a child, kicking and screaming as you're leaving me behind. And when you're not even crying, God, it cuts like a knife, kicking and screaming as you're leaving.